Hello everyone, this is Vortex. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy I. Thank you so much for choosing to watch another episode in this LP series today. In our last video, we used the powers of the Levistone to resurrect an airship from the Great Ryukon Desert. Apparently the sand didn't damage the engine too much because we promptly used our new airship to fly to the Northlands, and we landed onto a chain of islands known as the Cardian Islands, which is the homeland of dragons. We met the great Dragon King Bahamut, who set forth a challenge to the Warriors of Light. He asked them to prove their valiance by bringing him a token of courage. But where in the world can such an unnamed token be found? Well, chatting with some of the local dragon folk pointed us to an ancient citadel located to the northeast of the Cardian Islands. And that is where we are going to be headed in today's episode. Now, before starting today's video, I went ahead and took the liberty to use one of the tents that I had laying around in my inventory to recover all four of the Light Warriors' HP and MP. And if you haven't had the chance to do so lately, now may actually be a good time to use your newfound airship to fly back to one of the towns to restock on items such as potions and high potions, gold needles and phoenix downs and whatnot, because the next place we are going to be heading has the potential to be pretty dangerous. Yeah, that Citadel of Trials is going to be pretty tricky. Now, in order to get there, what I'm going to do is board my airship from this westernmost Cardian Island, and I'm going to fly to the east, and the Citadel of Trials is actually located right about here. But what we're going to have to do is actually land our airship a little ways off to the northwest, because it's going to be about the only grassy area we can find. And then we're going to actually have to hike off to the east and then turn to the south and then head to the west a little ways in order to get to the Citadel. So let's go ahead and board the airship and head that way. So let's head off to the east. And there's the Citadel of Trials, kind of in an isolated location in a marshy area here. Definitely not easy to get to, so what I'm going to do is head to the northwest here and park my airship on this small grassy area right about here. Alright, it is time for the Light Warriors to do some hiking. So let's head off to the northeast and then to the east from here. We'll be running into some new monsters on the way to the Citadel. And here are a couple of new monsters right here. We've got 3 war tigers and 2 saber-tooth tigers to deal with here. Now, the war tigers can poison your characters with their physical attacks. They have about 160 HP. The saber-tooth tigers have about 200 HP even. Nothing else really too remarkable about these monsters. So I guess we can have Vivi put on a pyrotechnic show with his Faraga spill to do a lot of damage. I don't know if you can hear that train horn in the background. It sounds like a train is going off in the distance in the background. I've got a train track not too far away from my house. Alright, let's go ahead and take out this last saber-tooth. There we go. Good job, Lena. Wow, lots of experience. Over 1,000 for a change, along with over 3,000 gil to boot. And we've got a couple of new entries to take a look at in the bestiary here. There's the saber-tooth at number 77. And the war tiger can be found at number 84. And it will occasionally drop a sleeping bag, but that particular item is not too useful at this point in the game. Alright, more forest to make our way through here. More war tigers and saber-tooth tigers in that battle, and there was also a lesser tiger thrown into the mix there, so if you haven't fought the lesser tiger yet, you can also fight them in this area. Alright, let's cross some marshland now. Hope the Light Warriors have their marsh boots on. I believe it is about time for us to turn to the south and then to the west. But not before we fight another new monster. This time we're going to fight 3 wyverns. And it looks like wyverns have about 212 HP. I think they can also poison you, and really about the only spell you don't want to use against them is the Quake spell. Since they're airborne, Quake won't work. So I guess I'll use the Blizzard spell. Scratching all the Light Warriors with their nails. Doesn't do too much damage though. Is BB going to beat this last Wyvern? Not quite. I have to try one more time here. One more round. There we go. Cloud's Ice Brand continues to do lots of damage there. And let's check that next new entry in the Bestiary. The Wyvern can be found at number 78. Alright, let's head to the south and then to the west, towards the Citadel of Trials. You can also fight Sphinxes in this area as well. That was a battle with 3 of them. Okay, here's another new monster you can fight, the Worm, or Worm. Since we've only got one of them, it can go down pretty quick. And it offers 304 experience and 502 gil. And another new entry in the Bestiary. And there's the entry for it right there at number 79. It has 260 HP. And just like the Wyvern, the Worm is resistant to Quake since it flies around. Quake doesn't work too well against it. Alright, well let's go ahead and cross this little river channel here with our trusty canoe. And then head off to the southwest to the Citadel of Trials. The place of courage. And here we are, but before we go inside, I'm going to go ahead and heal up all 4 of my characters, and once I do that, we will go on inside this creepy looking citadel. Okay, I used a tent and have recovered all 4 of my characters back to full health. So let's go ahead and head on inside this Citadel of Trials. Are you ready? Fear not, you'll be okay if you have courage. And we get the same creepy music that we got way back in the Western Keep, just to add to the effect. And heading to the north, we have a lonely old man standing in the way here. And if we talk to him, he says, "You come bearing the crown, I see. Your fortitude cannot be questioned, indeed not. Very well, I shall grant you the right to undergo the trials. Go now, sit upon the throne. Your courage will be put to the test. If true courage dwells within you, you will find proof of it here." And with that, the old man mysteriously disappears. Now you've got to wonder why Bahamut sent an old human instead of a dragon to guard this place. Maybe it's because it's really a testing place for dragons? Well, let's go ahead and continue through the Citadel. From here, let's just head off to the north and look for a throne. I wonder if there's a giant commode waiting for us up here. Well, let's just turn to the west here, and aha! We've got a doorway here, so let's go on inside this chamber, and we find a throne, as promised. And stepping on the throne will transport us to the 2nd floor of the Citadel of Trials. What have we here? Looks like a shiny, glowing contraption. Wonder what it does.
A teleporter is a device which instantly transports people from one place to another.
Gee, I never would have figured that out on my own. So we just get our molecules ripped apart, then fused back together in a distant location. Should we do it? Sure, why not? Beam me up, Scotty. So let's step on the teleporter here, and we're transported to a different location here on the 2nd floor. Now you can see a whole bunch of teleporters scattered throughout the floor. Pick the wrong one and you can get lost pretty easily, but follow me and you should be fine. Let's just go up to this lone teleporter here, easy enough. But it gets a little bit more complicated from here. We've got 2 to choose from here, and between these 2 we want to take the bottom teleporter. So let's take this one here, and from here let's just make the easy choice of picking this one teleporter here. And now we're in the southwestern corner of the second floor. Top or bottom, which one should we choose? Well, let's pick the bottom one. And from here, let's head on down to the south. Oh good, another easy choice, just one teleporter here. Now we have to choose between a left and a right teleporter. Let's pick the right one. Alright, now we're kind of in the northeastern parts of the second floor, and it's time for us to go get some treasure. And the treasure can be found in this chamber here. And we've got a lone treasure chest inside. But in order to get it, we're going to have to fight a new monster, the clay golem. And as you can see, it can cast haste on itself. But really this clay golem's pretty vanilla. It only has 176 HP. Just keep in mind that it's resistant to just about everything, so really no point in casting magic on it. We'll just take it out with our weapon. The Ice Brand does a great job against the clay golem. 314 experience with 800 gil. And once again, Locke, Lena, and Vivi are going to level up before Cloud. I believe that will take them up to level 34. Yep, level 34. We are now 41% complete on the bestiary. And there's the entry for the clay golem at number 90. And it will drop a measly potion occasionally. Yeah, look at all of that resistance. No weaknesses though. Well, inside this treasure chest, we are going to find a pair of gauntlets, which would be a great piece of equipment for a knight, a red wizard, and a ninja, but unfortunately, we don't have any of those advanced classes. But if you look at the gauntlets, you will see that they are gloves that cast Thundara when used. So any character can use the gauntlets as an item in battle to cast the Thundara spell on all the enemies. So maybe a good idea to scroll your gauntlets up towards the top of the screen and be prepared to use it up here. That way it's easier to access when you use it as an item in battle. So that's what I'm going to do, is move the gauntlets up a little ways. Alright, let's continue making our way through the rest of this second floor here. And we want to go down this path here and go straight south. But first, we are going to be confronted by some Medusas. Uh-oh, the ugly, legendary snake-headed mistress that can turn you to stone. But fortunately, Medusa is pretty easy to take out. Medusa only has 68 HP apiece, but they can use the gaze ability to turn one of your characters to stone, so you want to defeat them as quickly as possible. And since they have such low HP, this battle should go pretty quickly. Uh-oh. Oh, good. Cloud narrowly escaped petrification again. Will Locke fare the same? Nope. Locke is going to be petrified before we can finish this battle, so maybe I spoke too soon when I said that this should be a pretty easy battle. Poor Locke. Well, at least Cloud's not the only one that's skewed off of levels. Now Locke is too, but that's the way it goes sometimes when you're a hero. Well, let's put one of these gold needles to use, I guess. I've got 16 in my inventory, so let's go ahead and unpetrify Locke there and take a look at the entry of the Medusa in the bestiary. She can be found at number 88 in the list. Alright, let's keep going due south here and take this teleporter, and finally we will find our staircase that we've been waiting for. So let's take the stairs up to the third floor of the Citadel of Trials here. And we're going to find some treasure on this floor. First one is just up ahead here. By the way, here's another new monster you can fight here in the Citadel of Trials, the King Mummy. And the King Mummy is accompanied by his lackeys, 6 mummies. The King Mummy has 188 HP, and just like all undead, he's weak to fire and Dia. So this should be a pretty easy battle. I'm going to go ahead and have Lena use the Diara spell and Vivi use the Fira spell to take out all these monsters. And once I finish this battle, we'll continue making our way through this third floor. And Vivi put the Disco Inferno on the King Mummy and the 6 mummies pretty quickly with his Fira spell. And you can find the entry for the King Mummy at number 87 in the Bestiary. So there you go. Alright, let's continue heading northward here. And we've got a large chamber we're going to make our way through. But the first step inside will force us into battle with yet another new enemy. This time we're going to fight Nightmares, 2 of them. And this horse/unicorn type creature has 200 HP exact, it looks like, and they're weak to ice. This will be a good opportunity to demonstrate the gauntlets. There they are, easily accessible in the inventory there. So I'm going to have Lena use that. Now Lena can use black magic for a change. All she has to do is raise the gauntlets up in the air. And I'm going to have Vivi use the Blazar spell against these. Ouch. You can see their kick packs quite a punch. Well, it looks like Vivi's going to win this battle for us with his Blazar spell. But you'll find that the gauntlets are very, very useful as you're fighting through hordes and hordes of enemies here in the game. It's just a good way to take them out pretty quickly. Alright, another new enemy. We're finding lots of new ones in today's video, aren't we? Well, there's the Nightmare right there at number 91 in the list with its 200 HP and its weakness to ice. Lots of resistances though. And we get a new treasure. This time we're going to get a healing staff. Alright, I've been waiting for this treasure. Very nice. Yet another item you can use in battle. So I'm going to move it up into the inventory here. I'm going to put it right next to the gauntlets for ease of use. That healing staff, whoops, I meant to show that to you. The healing staff is a staff that casts heal when used. So that's going to restore a little bit of HP to all 4 of your characters each time it's used at no MP cost. So that's a very useful item. Alright, so I'm going to have no choice but to fight these Nightmares again. So let me take care of this battle real quick. That time I only had to fight one of those Nightmares, and by the way, they can use an ability called Snort, which can blind one of your characters. Let's go find some more treasure off to the west here. We've got 3 treasure chests to pick up here. The first one contains some steel gloves. Treasure chest number 2 contains another ice brand. And treasure chest number 3 contains a ruby armlet. Very nice new treasure that I'm going to equip on my White Mage Lena and replace her old silver armlet, and it will take her defense up 9 points from 17 to 26. An armlet ornamented with rubies. Let's go find some more treasure off to the south now. And here we're going to find 4 treasure chests. Now this first one is empty because it would have contained the gauntlets had I not got them up above. So it's another one of those 2 treasure chests contain the same treasure type thing. So that's why that one's empty. But the second treasure chest contains a cottage. Treasure chest number 3 contains 1,455 gil. And this last treasure chest contains more gil, 7,340. Alright. Be careful, Mind Flayers also roam around on this 3rd level of the Citadel of Trials. That was 4 of them, and they paralyzed Cloud and Locke with their Mind Blast ability. Alright, we are nearly to the finish line, but before we open that treasure chest over there, there is one more monster that I would like to fight here on this 3rd floor, so I'm going to roam around the halls a little bit, and once I find that monster, I'll demonstrate the battle for you. And here is the new monster I was looking for. It didn't take too long at all to find it. The Rakshasa. That sounds like a sneeze, doesn't it? Actually, the Rakshasa is another War Tiger type monster that has 110 HP, and they can cast fire and slow, I believe. They're resistant to just about everything, so really don't waste the MP on spells. Just go ahead and use your gauntlets, I guess. Otherwise, I'm just going to have everybody else attack, I guess, just for good measure. So, as you can see, they can cast fire, and they may try to use slow on us, too. They do a little bit more damage than the War Tiger. Yeah, as you can see, the magic didn't do too much damage, so it's going to take more than one round, it looks like, to take these out. And Vivi only did 4 points of damage. I guess I really should have had him go ahead and cast Thundara or Fira, but oh well. There's the slow spell. And it actually worked on lock, but it's too late because we win this battle. We get 603 experience and 3200 gil. And the bestiary entry for the Rakshasa can be found at number 89 in the list. Look at all that resistance. Alright, well let's go see what waits for us here in this treasure chest. It's a token of some sort, I bet, wouldn't you say? And opening up the chest, we find a rat's tail. Now, hopefully that would be the actual tail of the rodent and not some human mullet that was thrown into that treasure chest. Does anybody remember the rat tail fad of the 80s? Well, some of you may be too young to remember that. I don't know. Does anybody still wear rat tails? Oh well, we get the rat's tail, and let's take a quick look at that in our key items list. The rat's tail is a token of valor and strength, so I find it kind of interesting that Bahamut decided to put a rat's tail in the treasure chest as his token of valor. Alright, well let's go ahead and get out of here. We've got another throne waiting for us up here, but before we can step on the throne, we get to fight yet another new monster. This time we're going to fight a dragon zombie, and the dragon zombie is of course weak against fire, being another undead monster, so go ahead and use the Fira or Firaga spell. That will work pretty well. I guess I'll go ahead and use the Cura spell on Cloud since his HP is running a little low there. We'll go ahead and use Firaga on it. Yeah, it's got pretty high defense, but still no match for Cloud's Ice Brand. 582 experience and just a little less than 1,000 gil. 999 gil to be exact. The entry for the Dragon Zombie can be found at number 92 in your list. And wow, look at that treasure. Now that would be a very nice treasure to get, a Mega Elixir. I believe that will completely restore all 4 characters' HP and MP when used. So that'd be a pretty nice item to get. Alright, well stepping on the throne will teleport us back to the first floor of the Citadel of Trials, and we've got what we come here for. We got a token of valor. So what we want to do is head on back to the Cardian Islands and back into Bahamut's cave. So what I'm going to do is hike back to my airship and fly back to that cave, and then I'll meet you right next to the Dragon King himself. And hello again everyone, I've made my way back to the Cardian Islands and back into the Dragon King's chamber. So now that we've risked life and limb to obtain proof of our courage, let's go show it to the great dragon himself. Hey Bahamut, I found your rotting, stinking rat's tail. I'd like a reward for this, please. So upon showing Bahamut the rat's tail, he says, "Long has it been since men of courage stood before me. Your bravery would seem worthy of consideration." And the Light Warriors are going to kneel in front of the dragon as he says, "The rat's tail you carry is a fitting token of courage and strength. So be it. I shall honor you with titles befitting your valor." And with that, Bahamut spreads his wings and a magical light flows forth. And it would seem that the Light Warriors are being transformed. Yes, their very appearance has changed, and they have received their reward. Cloud is no longer a warrior. Locke is no longer a thief. Lena is no longer a white mage, nor is Vivi a black mage. Nope, they have changed classes thanks to proving their valor. They have changed classes to a knight, ninja, white wizard, and black wizard. So they have attained some new powers, and they are now much stronger. So that is what Bahamut has done for them. So we'll go over these class changes in our next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy 1. And then we will see if we can make more progress towards lighting the next 2 crystals. So thank you very much for watching today's episode covering the Citadel of Trials. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it enjoyable. This has been Vortex, your host. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you again next time.